welcome back to Whiskey Wonder Woman. This is part 2 of... Actually, I don't know if this is part 2. I'm just continuing my video from the last one. So we did a comparison of 2 of the Wild Turkey single barrels. This bottle is from Camp Nelson F. And I decided why not do a comparison to the Russell's Camp Nelson F single Rickhouse. Is that what it's called? Russell's Reserve single Rickhouse. To see if they actually hold up. Because this bottle is around 8 to 9.5 years old. And I believe the single Rickhouse is 10 to 15 years old. And another thing to note is that this is a single barrel, and the Rickhouse Reserve is actually a small batch, but it's barrel proof. Unless the bottle specifically says that is batch proof, barrel proof, single barrel, then it's a small batch. I don't know if that made sense, but it made sense in my head. Basically, this is not a single barrel. This is a small batch of batch proof bourbons from Camp Nelson F. So both bottles basically came from the Camp Nelson F warehouse that everyone loves. I just like popped that open and it smelled like candy. I think I might need to pour a little more of this one. Ooh, oh my God. I think I poured too much of the single Rickhouse. I don't know what I was thinking. But look at the color difference. Like in my last video, I said that this one was thinner and lighter, and this one is much thicker. I don't want to drop any, so I'm trying to be very careful. Because this one is much more expensive than this bottle. Going for the nose. Yeah, again, smells like chocolate. Fruits, caramel, sweet vanilla bean. It's really good. Okay, clear out my nose. Okay, I honestly think that I poured too much in my glass, so I'm gonna put some back in the bottle. Ready? Look how dark this one is. This smells just as sweet as this, but it's more thicker. Like, it's definitely like present, like full of flavor, where this one is just like lightly there. This is a single barrel and this is a mix, so it's not the same. Ooh. This caramel is so sweet. It's really, really good. It has like a really good caramelization. It's almost like a creme brulee style of sugar. It also smells really buttery. Like, the aroma is thick and fruitful. It just has a bunch of flavors going on, and I mean, let's be honest here. This is much more expensive and older than this bottle. So the flavors are just really showing. So I definitely got my money's worth, which is a good thing. Let's go in for, oh, actually, I was about to go in for the taste. I got too excited. Let me do Camp Nelson F for single barrel, even though I already tasted it. I'm gonna redo it and then go in for the single Rickhouse. Which honestly, this is still technically a single Rickhouse, but this is a reserve because it's a small batch of batch proofs from the warehouse. Just saying. It's just older and they put reserve on there. That is good. Still fruity in the beginning. Has a really good chocolate note, and towards the end it has like a spice note. Definitely like notes of leather. Again, just really balances out the sweetness, and I like it a lot. Okay, clearing out my palate. Going in for the single Rickhouse Reserve. Cheers. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This knocks this out the park by a landslide. That melted in my mouth like chocolate and caramel. That was phenomenal. I mean, I've already had this bottle before, but compared to this, this is really, really good. What I should have done is compared it to Tyrone. That is amazing. The best part is that it's not too sweet. There's a really great balance of the wood, and it brought up a lot of different flavors. I don't think I got tobacco in this. I really think it was like leather, maybe like sandalwood, because it was fragrant towards the end. I definitely got leather. What is the proof of this? Because it's definitely burning just a little bit. I mean, it's super, super smooth, but I could feel, you know, maybe some heartburn. This is 117.6 proof. I mean, compared to the 101 proof, that is much higher. This is, oh, did I even show you guys the bottle? Look at me, I'm tripping. So this is the Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse, chosen by Jimmy Russell, and I believe it's Eddie Russell. Yes. Fun fact, they're almost always at the distillery, so if you go to the gift shop, Jimmy Russell will sign one of your bottles if you buy them. And this is a limited release, 2023. Rickhouse Collection, Camp Nelson F, matured on floors 4 and 5. So I believe 4 and 5 are apparently where their best barrels come from in Camp Nelson F. They took a bunch of barrels, mixed it together at batch proof. They bottled it as is without adding water. And this is what we have at 117.6 proof. Honestly, don't know how many bottles came out of it, because I think a lot of people have these bottles. I did recently see that there's a 15-year-old Russell's Reserve out there. I will never get my hands on that. I don't think I'll ever find that ever, but the color looked amazing from the photos. To fact check myself, I actually did not pay $150. I paid $300 for this bottle, and that was at the distillery. So yeah, this baby is expensive compared to this bottle, which is just $60. Back to my tasting. It's almost as if there's like a bitterness at the end. I want to say it's tobacco leaves, but I don't think it is. I want to say it's almost like I mix like I ate an orange and then had chocolate after. I know that sounds weird, but I think there's like citrus notes in here. I also think there's definitely like spiced oak. I really didn't get cinnamon, but there was like spiciness in here. I almost want to say that it could have been clove. Actually, I think it might be clove, and that might be giving that bitter taste right now in my mouth. That could be part of the finish. Overall, this is giving like a matured oak. From the beginning, from the aroma, from the taste to the finish, this is definitely charred, caramelized, matured oak in this batch. I'm just so curious how much each sip I'm taking because this bottle's $300. I should start taking less sips. I don't know. This is not compared to this. I'm just putting it out there. I think this is just a good single barrel coming from Camp Nelson F. You know, it's just a possibility that a single barrel that's around this barrel, so this is this is stored on Rick number 32. If this is like a hit, everyone likes it, they probably could be taking barrels from 32 and mixing it in the reserves. Because overall, this is really, really good. They didn't wait, is Rick number 32 like the floor? I don't know. Because it didn't say floor. This one's saying matured on floors 4 and 5. So I'm not that knowledgeable in warehouses, so I don't know where this one is sitting. But this is on 32. And this is barrel number 2984. I will say that Wild Turkey does not miss with their bourbon. And if you didn't watch one of my Whiskey Wonder Woman Wednesday videos, I did the Wild Turkey 101 bottles, and I was just floored to know that, how much was that bottle? It was like, I don't know, under 50 bucks. I can't remember the price. I just couldn't believe how cheap it was, and it was just so good. They just do not miss with their bourbon. It is delicious. So in summary, this is just a really good bourbon at Camp Nelson F. But it doesn't compare to the Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse. This is, again, a batch of batch-proof bourbons from the Camp Nelson warehouse, whereas this is just a single barrel. So if people are thinking that this is like a dupe for this bottle, highly mistaken. I'm actually really glad that I did this comparison, and I do enjoy doing comparison of bourbon. So let me know if you enjoy these type of videos and what other bourbons I should be doing. And don't come with me with expensive bottles that I can't find in Virginia. It's very controlled and hard to find. So with that, I will see you in the next video. Comment below what you think. Cheers.